Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at him. Look at him
Welcome
go.
to Clash of Klausmos. Mila came up with that right beforehand, and I'm giddy at this point. Like I'm having way too much time like on the happy scale with all football right now. So I'll take a step back and I'll let you guys talk about. We're gonna segment this into the three segments. We'll start at the forward line. We'll work our way down to the defense, and then we'll talk about the midfield as well. But someone else speak about Mr. Klauss.
He's Santa Claus, exactly. He keeps delivering more frequently than Santa Claus. He's been so good though. He's got the German cog in the machine mentality, I feel like, but also the hint of the Brazilian flair. I mean, we were in the stadium. He did a freaking bicycle kick. It was nowhere near going off, but like what a he's a dreamer. It's sick, and he's also capable of playing at his feet. He's good body up top, able to fend off defenders. He's everything we could have asked for, and he's not that old. So if we can lock him up, and that's one position that we really don't need to worry about for a while, I think.
Yeah, Dari, what have your been like your initial thoughts on Santa Claus?
I mean, I was pretty skeptical when he first signed, but I mean, he's been proving me wrong every single game. So I love to see it. He looks like the final package up there. He looks a little more comfortable with his feet than even English did at times. I think he's the perfect hold-up man for the system that we need. So yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. I'm glad to be wrong about him.
Yeah, same. Andrew.
Yeah, I really like that metaphor that Mila used of kind of combining that German and Brazilian mentality. I think that's the perfect description of him. It's just that work rate he has. His pressing, his off the ball movement, I think, is really, really impressive. Christian Ramirez, who's not with us, he had a great debut over in Austin. But that was a big part of his game. Whenever we talked to him in the press conferences, that was definitely an emphasis. Whenever Vanney even talked about him, it was definitely the off-ball stuff. But it feels like with Klauss, it's a lot more effective. And I think the game was a perfect example of that. That third goal, he created all on his own. Basically pressed the 1v3, clutched it, and, withheld some pressure, finished it off with a classy finish. He's just such a pure striker. We have an article coming out right after this episode, but I used the word greedy to describe him because it looks like he's never satiated. He's always chasing after that ball. He's always looking to combine, make something dangerous happen. And it's such a breath of fresh air because, again, it's just so much more effective than what the Galaxy have had recently before. I really sympathize with St. Louis fans right now because I think a lot of them, the ball knowers in that community, would have known what they had in Klauss. He's someone who, if you have a play style that suits him, can do a lot, and he's showing that at the Galaxy. And I bet they're wishing that they would have seen even more of that, or that he has stayed, because he looks fantastic. I saw an edit earlier this morning. It's just black and white gray edit of Klauss at St. Louis wearing their kit. But he is that kind of player that if you know what a good striker is, you miss it when you don't have it. The Galaxy have definitely missed it, but now we have it, and it has us giddy. It has us literally dancing, excited to talk about the gift that keeps on giving in Klauss. His association with all the forwards, the DPs, has been fantastic, but I think especially with Tech, it was interesting last night in Brazilian Heritage Night. We saw a lot of Jogo Bonito, a lot of great Brazilian link-ups. So he is just a really great facilitator. I think Mila said it. He couldn't ask for anything more. Really, really home run of a signing, I think, from the front office, especially considering how this was a pivot move right after finding out that you're going to lose Ricky Puig a month before your first game. So to think that this is what we get when we're panicking, again, it just fills you with a lot of confidence for the front office, what's coming the next transfer windows, and what's coming the rest of this window, I think. So tons to be excited about with Klauss, tons to be excited about with the Galaxy, and I'm excited to talk about whatever the next topic is.
Yeah, no, he's been fantastic. I think that we should use him more. Like, he wasn't even that involved in the game outside of the 13 minutes, but I related to him to Dayon in my ratings video because when the game needed to be put away, he put it away and he did it by himself. And those were things that we saw Dayon do. He's a one-man press right now. Like the way that we're setting up and the structure that we're setting up, it's a lot of him on his own to attack one of the defenders to initiate the press. He did that in this one. He just kind of sat on Tim Ream and the guy just gave him the ball. But more importantly, like we have a striker or a forward in general that is putting away chances with very limited amount of shots. Like he had 2 goals on 3 shots on target. They were all on target.
Mhm.
Whereas we're watching it with Peck right now. Like his shooting boots are just not really there. And I could say the same about Paintsel, right? So it's either Paintsel's not taking enough shots, Peck's taking too many, and Santa Claus is doing the best of both, which is he's scoring and shooting more than enough times for me to be happy, because that was the one thing last year we didn't get enough of with Nascimento was
Yeah.
he was kind of shy with the shot. And Klaus is the polar opposite. He's gonna rip. And there's gonna be games where that's not gonna come off and it might be frustrating, but I'm just happy that he's like kind of pulling the strings. And I don't know. There's nothing not to like about him. He's had 4 GNA in 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, with how lethal he is and how lethal he's been, he's not afraid to try stuff. I think even in those games where he's not putting it in the back of the net, he'll have something to offer going forward. I want to say it would kind of be like the evolution of Nascimento if we had that luxury of that time for him to develop, maybe put on a bit of weight. He could be that type of player. There's similarities in terms of the link up and what he can offer. But Klauss is ready now, and he's in the prime of his career. He's played in the league. Like there's so many positives to him, and we really struck out, like Andrew was saying, with not struck out, but struck gold, with Klauss, because there's not many other options that we could have got outside of. No one in the league, I think, that we could have got to do this.
Yeah, I think to that point, to connect to something that Dari mentioned earlier, he wasn't 100% convinced, and I think a lot of us echo that point. I don't know if I ever said it out loud, but I think deep down, you look at the numbers, you look at maybe some of the footage out there, you're not just 100% sure about this signing, because again, I think it's really just that cloud of just losing Ricky Puig, maybe casting more doubt over that signing. But I think there was probably a good reason to be a little bit unsure about that signing being DP quality. But for him to do that immediately, yes, he's clinical, he has great combination, but I think what impresses me the most is how he's immediately found the spaces. That was the biggest thing we're going to talk about, I'm sure, later. That was missing with Sanabria and Winder that they both have now. But that was never really quite there with Ramirez, that we're still trying to develop with Nascimento, is that he's immediately right at the play. He's immediately sharp, just always there. He creates high-quality chances, and he's in those spots to have those chances. You said it, Dylan. 3 shots, all of them on target. He probably has similar stats in all the other games he's played, and just efficient with his minutes. And again, it's just the difference that it's made for the Galaxy is immense. We could keep on talking about him, I think, on and on, but it's just so impressive, I think, how quickly he's immediately shown that he's worth that DP. And man, I would love to work something out in the future.
Yeah.
One last thing. I just love that Mila point as well. I'm really sorry, but yeah, this is the evolution of Nasi. In my head, this is what I pictured Nasi can be, and he's ready now. It's fantastic. It feels like a dream come true.
Yeah, no, that was a really good point, because I mean, that's a good person to learn under if the plan is to keep Nasi for the foreseeable future. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of conversations with contracts and stuff as we move to the summer, but if this team is good enough, I think the question of can you use that role somewhere else could be beneficial. My last point on Klauss, and the thing that I love the most, is it's forcing Vanney's hand. And we saw it. We saw it in this one. It forced the way that he has to play with him, because you don't have that 10. You don't have that Ricky Puig drop back into the... I honestly want to argue that in Vanney's system, you need an 8 more than a 10. Someone who's box to box, who can pick up the ball from a defender and drive with it. We don't have that in the team. And having Klauss, who is just he's the pinnacle of directness and transition. And I think that we look so good when we play through that outlet. And I think Pex looked better. I thought Paintsel looked better in this one. And it's just because we're
Absolutely.
playing more direct.